Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Ashman, and welcome to my final CLI project for the Flatiron School. Let me first by introducing what a CLI is. A CLI is a command line interface. It's like an address bar, but we use it for troubleshooting our computers, looking up files that we can use. You use it in Linux, you use it in Windows, and you use it in Ubuntu a lot because that's where we get our files from if we can't see them. Anyway, my final CLI project is a Pokemon database. In layman's terms, it's just a Pokedex. That's all I made. It was just as a Pokedex because I love Pokemon so much. I thought this would be a good project to do. I'm using a scraper method, so I'm scraping every single Pokemon that you get from that Pokemon database website or PokemonDB.net, and putting it into my file where it calls at basis every single Pokemon from 1 to 890. That's Gen 1 to Gen 8. So anyway, let's get started. I'm first going to clone my GitHub repository by doing git clone, paste, and then enter. And if you ever want to do this, I'll leave my GitHub repository of this in the description and comments below. If you ever want to try this up, if you want to run it on any editor that can run Ruby and Bash. That's all you need is Ruby and Bash. That's it. So first we're going to CD into the Pokemon database. And then we're going to bundle install so we can get our dependencies such as Nogiri, Pry, and the other ones that we use in OpenURI, our scrapers. So let's bundle install it. Wow. That's the first time that has went that fast. Okay, so before we get started, let me show you some of the files that we're going to be working with. So let's look at our CLI file. So first we got our class that's called the CLI, that's nested classes. Then we're creating a Pokemon. So every time we're doing it, we're going to create a new Pokemon that we get for every time we put in our numbers when we do the menu. The National Pokedex, that's going to be our method. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. The menu is, as it says, it's the menu method that gives you what we're going to see later on. And this turnoff is the shutdown feature. So this is what you're going to do to shut it down. So let's go down to our National Pokedex method. Here, as you can see, we have enter our numbers 1 to 5. That gives you all the Pokemon in a 150 range. So you got 1 to 150, 300, 151 to 300, and so on and so forth. And here is where we get our National Pokedex grouping. So you know all your groups on there. One thing I do have here is you can either use escape or input. So exit or esc to get it off, to turn off your thing. And if you put in a Pokemon that is not in those range of 100 to 890, it will give you who's that Pokemon, because there's no Pokemon like that yet. So if you put like our new mythical Pokemon called Zerude, who's going to be 190 something, 890 something, that won't come up. This is the National Pokedex grouping, where you get your Pokedex, the way I could put first plus 149 to get our last statement, which calls forth the last Pokemon we picked from, and then gives us our range of Pokemon that we choose from, and then counts it for 1 and 150. Here's our Pokedex that gives us all of the attribute accessories that we use in the Pokedex file and brings it into here. This iterates this, so you keep getting Pokemon by Pokemon. This menu function, so when you click on when you type in a Pokemon into the CLI, as you'll see later on, you'll get the information of that Pokemon. As you can see, name, number, type, species, height, weight, and abilities, because all Pokemon have abilities. Then if you go back into the menu, that gives you back into the main menu, which is our National Pokedex. And if you type in exit and or escape, that's going to do it. That's going to close our program. And then it's going to tell you the portable Pokemon database will now turn off. See you later. And our Pokemon database, or the Pokedex, we just have our attributes that we're going to be using, and they're listed in this array, and then it gets called into this all national, because it's all national Pokedex. And here, as I said before, we are scraping all of these information from the Pokemon.db.net Pokedex, and it gives you every single one. We're scraping them, and it gives us our array, and then we're getting this off of the CSS, and we're pushing this into this all national that's in the Pokedex. And then it gives you all 18 types and all the abilities and everything that we need. And then here's our version. This is the Pokemon database, which is telling us what we are using. We're using Nokogiri, we're using OpenYuri, we're using Pry, and then all my files. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chmod so that we have the ability to use this bin file where everything's located. So we're going to chmod +x bin/Pokemon database. All right, now that that's done, we now have the ability to use these files. So let's do it. Bin Pokemon database, and here we go. So welcome to the Pokemon database. Oh, we have a string literal conditions. Let's look at this while we're here too. 71. Oh. Well, now we know what that problem is. Okay. So let me just exit out of here. Exit. Now if I do it again, there we go. So welcome to the portable Pokemon database. Now, as you say before in our CLI, right here, let me make this bigger for you guys. Oh, not that part. Oh, let's make this big. Okay. As you can see right here, this is where we have our numbers, where we enter numbers anyone. So if I enter 1 right now, it's going to give me 1 to 150. So here's number 1, which is Bulbasaur, and I go all the way down, it gives me 150, which is Mewtwo. Now if I enter another one, because I can enter any number of Pokemon I can choose from, it will give me this. So we know that Bulbasaur is a grass and poison type Pokemon that's introduced in Gen 1. It is known as the seed Pokemon. Its name is Bulbasaur, its number is 1, its type is grass and poison, it's the seed. We know its height, its weight, and now in the ability section, we have our abilities, which is Overgrow and Chlorophyll, which is its hidden ability. Now from here, I can choose from any Pokemon that you see from 1 to 890. So let's do 56. 56, we get a Mankey, who's a pig monkey, who's a fighting type, and it has its hidden ability. Now, before I even get even further in this, let me tell you that there are some Pokemon that don't work because of how it is scraping from the website. Some of the Pokemon that do not work are Mr. Mime, Mime Jr., Farfetch'd, all the Tapus in the 800s, in the 700s and 80s, Flabebe, and any other Pokemon that has a special character, whether it's a space, an accent, a hyphen, a period, those do not work. So if I try 122, that was Mr. Mime, that didn't work, so it crashed the program. So let me first clear this up so we have now a fresh program, and then we're going to do a bin file. Bin/, why can I not? There we go. So here you go. Okay, so let's do 2. So we get all the Pokemon from 151 to 300. Oops, I put 2 in the wrong spot. I'm being flubbing all over. 2. So here it is. We get from Mew to Skitty. So I can pick, let's say, an 888, which is, I believe, Zacian. Which was Zacian. So it's a Fairy Steel type Pokemon that was introduced in Gen 8, which is the Sword and Shield generation, the newest one. And it's a Fairy Steel type Pokemon, and it gives it all its information. It doesn't have any hidden abilities, so we don't have to worry about that. If I try 34, I get Nidoking, and that's Poison Ground. Drill Pokemon has a hidden ability called Sheer Force. And we can keep going. And there's Vileplume. And if I do this one, it's gonna, see, I got Cosmog. If I do 654, I get Braxton. If I do 345, I get Laleep. I do 789, I get Cosmog again. If I do, let's see, 783, I get Nihilego, which is an Ultra Beast. If I do 234, I get Stantler. If I do 567, I get Archeops. If I do 456, I get Finneon. If I do 720, I get Hoopa. And we keep going on. These are all the Pokemon, so I can keep going and keep going and keep going. If I go 1, 2, this, I'll get Huision. So that means 579. That's ridiculous. That's a good Pokemon. Anyway, though, So it gives you all those hidden abilities. As you can see from as we kept going, you see that they give in our species, our types, our abilities. If they had hidden abilities, we'd see that right next to it. If it has any information, and if it gives an error. Then if we go back to our menu, so if we type in menu, it will bring us back to this menu feature where it says, now here's all this Pokemon. Now let's say I go to 4 and I type in 900, please try again. So it gave me a please try again because there was no Pokemon that. So if I go back to menu one more time and type in 6, who's that Pokemon? It didn't know what it was. So it told me, so I had to retry and it resets the entire system. You know what? I think I'm gonna change that. So one thing we should do right now, and you guys can look at this too. We're going to go here. We're gonna take this up, copy this. We're gonna put it right here. All right. And then we're gonna put this here and say, please try again. Why? Because we want to do that callback when we're with a Pokemon, when we're looking for our Pokemon. So please try again. So we're gonna save this now. We're going to exit out of this. So we exit out and we're going to run this again. So now here's our Pokemon database. If I try 6, please try again. Now if I say 3 and put 900, who's that Pokemon? And then I have to choose another Pokemon. And we can keep going and keep going and keep going until you have exhausted all 890 Pokemon, except for the ones I mentioned before. So this command line interface, or CLI, is a Pokedex for you who like to play Pokemon, and it doesn't give you like your entire move sets and all that. Later on, what I want to do is fix up the ones that are messed up and have it be a little bit more usable for us. But it does the job, and it's better than what you see in most Pokedexes. And it's a portable Pokemon database, and you can keep this with you and just go, what number I need to see? I need to see maybe like I want to see whatever. I want to see, oops, let me click that out. I want to see a Charmander. Oh, I saw a Squirtle, sorry. Oh, we'll do a Squirtle because Squirtle's easier. Squirtle's a water type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. We know it's the Tile-Terrain Pokemon. Squirtle, it's number 7. It's a type, this water type and all that, and it gives you all that. So if I type in 5, there's Charmeleon. So 4, there goes Charmander. Although I remember every single Pokemon off the top of my head. I'm not that great. So it gives you every single thing you need to know about all the Pokemon. So we go back to our menu, and it gives you all this. You can't clear it. It's going to tell me to please try again. So you type in anything else that's not 1 through 5, it's not going to work. Anyway, though, folks, I'd like to thank you for joining me as you were watching my CLI project at its best. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any comments on it, please email me or leave them in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. And see you later.